The grid. A digital frontier. I tried to picture clusters of information as they moved through the computer. What did they look like? Ships, motorcycles? Were the circuits like freeways? I kept dreaming of a world I thought I'd never see. And then, one day...
You got in.
That's right, man. I got in.
Welcome back, everyone. And I do mean everyone. It's Forgotten Circus. So we got a news update for TRON ARES. Looks like Jeff Bridges will return as Kevin Flynn. Now, Tron is one of those movies that paved the way, pioneered this whole thing. One of the pioneers. A lot of stuff before with sci-fi and Star Trek. It really introduced a lot of AI and being inside the machine, the man inside the machine. You got the grid. You got users. Sounds kind of familiar to a lot of movies that are out now, right? Users. A certain destination through a digital system. Yeah. Tron was there, and I know I talk a lot of trash about him. But it's Disney. And it's one of the better Disney products. Tron 1, yeah, the special effects are probably hard to watch now, but it was a good movie. You got to think that had to compete with the likes of, oh my gosh, one of the biggest busts movie history, Krull and all those back in the 80s. It was a new concept. And remember, nobody had computers during that time. Computers were not in everybody's household. Computers were more in with software companies. If you had money, you had a computer, you know. The only way at that time, they didn't really even have computers. There would be like one computer for the whole school. And it wasn't like these laptops and stuff we have now. It was the big tube. The computer weighed like at least 80 pounds. The mouse was like moving a brick corded mouse. Even if you had a mouse, you still had to use the keyboard. It was innovative. It was something you had never seen before. And then you came out later, and the gaps between Tron and Disney, it's like this love-hate relationship. They just don't want to give it all the love, even though it's one of their greatest products. And the reason why Tron has survived is because the cult following is so huge for Tron, it's ridiculous. And Disney it's another one of those things where it's that love-hate. It's like, we'll let you in the door, but we want to go do these 10 million other things and not focus on something that's a proven product. Because say what you want, Tron Legacy may not have the biggest box office at the time. It's still in the early 2000s. But it made its money back. And actually, it did better out of the theater, with physical media. But I think at that time, it probably got released at a time when it was still too far ahead. Because Tron has always been 10 steps ahead of where we are now. Actually, Tron has always been like 100, 200 years before where we are now. They're always going to be that way with their concept. And it's a great concept. And it's actually the way they do it. It's kind of believable. It's one of those movies, you know. And then came out with Tron Legacy. Like I said, say what you want. I love Tron Legacy. I think it's not the best movie. I think if they pumped a lot more money in it, this movie right now be getting a lot of roar, be getting a lot of chatter, a lot of whispers like, "Yo, the new Tron's coming out." They just didn't do enough in it, but it was enough to keep the Tron lovers and the cult following of Tron still interested. Now this one is what I kind of went a little long, but what the big thing is, like, Jeff Bridges returning as Kevin Flynn. I mean, without him, is there really Tron? And the funny thing is, Kevin Flynn, his user, right, is not even supposed to be the main character. The main character is actually his best friend in the software company, Alan. Alan created some weird firewall or whatever to like this. So this whole world in the grid, if you know anything about Tron, it's a whole different world. It's a world inside the machine, inside the programming. Alan created this weird program. And for some odd reason, Flynn got sucked in the first one. So spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. And then he winds up on the grid. Grid's a whole new world. It's vast. It's digital. It doesn't run by our rules. Huh. I wonder where the Matrix got that. It doesn't abide by our rules. But this one is going to be very interesting because if you watch Tron Legacy, granted, some of the digital de-aging of Jeff Bridges as Kevin Flynn, terrible. But that's before look at the de-aging we're doing now. We still can't get it right. Like, it was good seeing Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, but if you notice his speech and the facial, we still can't get it totally right, the de-aging. I mean, even looking at Irishman with the de-aging. So you can't blame that when you see it. I mean, that's over what? That movie's almost, is it 20 years, 15 years, 10, whatever. Multiple years ago for Tron Legacy. And we still haven't gotten a full. So I don't blame you for anything. Because you guys tried it, you started it, didn't have all the technology we have now. But other than that, the movie's great. You know? And that kind of, it shows you the grid and how vast it is and how unpredictable the grid is. The games that they have, almost like the Colosseum in Rome. Users, discs. If you steal someone's disc, you steal their whole identity. You absorb all their knowledge, all their coding. And you got your factions. You got the red faction, which usually, I forget the names of the colors. And then you had Clue. Is Clue going to be in this? I think I'm done with Clue. I think it was okay. Clue was okay. But the main movie's about Tron. And Tron, actually, in Tron Legacy, had gotten turned. His disc, his digital footprint had been changed, altered to the orange. He was yellow, right? No, orange. Clue was yellow. Yeah. Yellow, orange, and then you got blue. Blue are usually the guy, basically the one good faction, but they just don't have all the money or digital money. That's funny if they bring bitcoins in this because it's digital money, you know. But and then you had the white the white disc users. They're more or less in between. Your bargainers, they run your clubs as you saw in it. They're more of the in and out. And then you had the other anomalies. I forget what they're called. Because Olivia Wilde played the anomalies that were just created from the grid. They like manifested from the grid. I wonder where Matrix stole that from. You know? But, or did they steal that from the Matrix because it came out later? But it's going to be so vast. And to have Jeff Bridges back, are you going to? So at the end of Tron Legacy, spoiler alert, even though Alan, which is Tron, which is what it's all about, he is the program, he is the chosen one, he is the Messiah. Flynn is just there to kind of like his disciple to get him to that point. But don't sleep on Flynn. So are you going to bring Ram back too? I want to see Ram. Bring Ram back. I liked Ram. Ram was cool. If you don't know, you watch the movie. Yo, everybody love Ram. Ram's he like that little brother. Are you going to bring that back? And I like how you bringing Jeff Bridges back. Can you please bring the guy that plays, I forget his name, that plays Alan, and the guy that plays Ram, Tron and Ram. I'd like to see them in this. Because Jared Leto is in this, but it's kind of confusing because it's called Tron Ares. He's going to be Ares? Is it a misdirection because the person that is on the actual first still shots, which is actually one of the users, is wearing red? is red. So red's usually bad in that world on the grid, and it has a more of a triangle disc instead of a circle. So is this a new faction? We don't know. But oh, I know this is going to be good. I love me some Tron. And Jared Leto, if you're Ares, if you're not God of War, maybe it could be misdirection. You are the God of War for the good, for the users of the good. Start the war. Maybe that's not even him. Maybe that's the big bad. And him, because, I mean, Flynn's still there. He's still stuck in the grid. Tron's still there. There's a lot of people. Are they going to, and the premise of it, the grid's going to cross over into our world, because you saw that in Tron Legacy when he brought Olivia Wilde's character back. Kevin Flynn's son. Oh my gosh, what is his name? So this could be, they figured out a way to bring the grid to our. Could you imagine the grid going through New York City or LA with those light cycles? Oh, those special effects are probably going to look crazy and have the worlds merging together, and then they're entering. Wow. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this movie, because it's Disney. Disney like wasting money, but if you're going to waste it on this, because this is going to be successful. Hey, I wouldn't mind if you put $500 million on this, like Indiana Jones. Because if you do this right, Disney, oh, you got another hit. And then you'll be like, why did we keep ignoring this on the shelf? It was the one that was like, I was always here for you, Disney. You just ignored me. And I was one of the first. You know? But I don't know, man. I'm just so excited about this movie now, because I was scared. I thought that Jeff Bridges wasn't going to be in it. I was like, oh, they're going to start it all over. And I was okay with it for a little bit. And I was like, Jared Leto. So, yeah, Jared Leto, I know he's hit or miss in movies, but he's still a phenomenal actor. Like, after I saw Requiem for a Dream, I was sold on him. I'll watch his good and the bad, you know? And, I mean, the guy he is an Academy Award winner. He ain't no slouch. But is he Ares? Is he? Is Ares a bad guy, or is this a misdirection? You don't know. But I don't know. I just had to put that out. I'm excited about the news. Tell me what you think. Have you ever seen Tron? Please tell me what you think about it. And if you know the characters that I'm talking about, nostalgia bait. Come on, let's bring Ram back. Bring Ram. But yeah. And I want everyone to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, trying to build the channel. I really do appreciate everybody that views my videos. I really do. And I always will. So pretty soon, like I said in the other video, I will be coming out with some merch. We're coming up with some ideas, maybe some hats. I don't think I'll ever do the original hat. I think I'll do the original hat, and I'll get it made and probably put the person's name on it, whoever wins, when I get to 100,000 subscribers. You'll get the original hat. You may get this hat. Or should I do at 1 million? You get this hat. That'd probably be cool. The actual hat that I wore. And I'll put it actually in a case and everything, sign it and all that. Well, I can't really sign it. Yeah, I can sign it on the brim there. But yeah, just let me know. I'm trying to build a channel. I want to get it big. Just everybody subscribe, like, and subscribe. Don't worry. I'm going to have guests. It's going to get bigger and bigger. But I need you to help me out. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I do mean everyone.